1999. Ja had an unusual childhood, and it starts with his dad, T. Morant. T was a basketball player himself. He played with Ray Allen in high school. The next step for T. Morant was the NBA, but then his wife got pregnant with Ja, and T had a decision to make. He decided to stay home. He wanted to be there for Ja.
I probably had a basketball in Ja hand, like 2, maybe 3 years old, whenever he was able to hold one.
T trained him. It was up to him to turn Ja into an NBA star. But there was one problem.
I was worried about his athleticism, because he wasn't dunking. So that's when I got this big tractor tie in the backyard. So after every drill, I had him jumping on it 25 times. And then after that, the bounce got crazy.
There was a contest where Ja could make a name for himself. All he needed was to be accepted. Could he make it?
I got added to the camp late. It was like, if I don't call your name, then go to the other gym. My name wasn't called, so I went to the back gym.
Ja's life turned around when one scout noticed him by accident.
Just a few minutes of watching Ja, you just knew he was special. I called my boss right away and said, you got to come up here and see this kid.
We immediately got to Spartanburg the next day, and I was just blown away.
Ja was offered a full scholarship to Murray State. It wasn't a big-name school, but it was the only option Ja had. It was the one school he could get playing time and show the world his talent. His coaches believed in him, but the rest of the world didn't. Ja was angry, but he stayed focused. He decided to use that anger as fuel to prove everybody wrong.
A.J. Williams came up with a loose ball. Morant runs it all the way to the rim and dunked it.
This kid's special. This kid can do it all. And in the point guard, he's athletic. I love this kid. 34% shooter from the three-point line, 50% from the field, 80% from the free throw line. He was 11-11 yesterday, Skip. Kid's special.
One of the elite passers, really in the history of the college game. He makes just ridiculous plays look very ordinary.
We get 5 rebounds now. Whips it ahead. Buchanan in tight. Spins it. Play. He wants the ball. The tournament's 2 leading scorers. And hammers it home. Here, Carter. Morant on Bailey. Shot fake. Floats it. And one more.
You talk about those players that carry teams in the tournament. He's going to be one of those guys that's going to carry his team.
How about the fact that he's got explosive athletic ability combined with patience, like a great running back who can hit the hole but also wait for it to open and elevate the play of his teammates and seems to be calm under pressure.
Every game Ja played, he made a new highlight. He showed off his skills, letting the world know it's time to take him seriously.
He seems like he's much more mature than the guys that he's playing with and playing against. So that allows his court sense to slow the game down. And even though he's very talented, can dribble, pass, and shoot, he takes pride in making guys around him better.
He's a combo guard. Now, some people can say, hey, he doesn't have the strength of Russell Westbrook, but he's having a better sophomore year than Russell Westbrook had at UCLA. And think about the kind of guards that we see in the league right now. Everybody from Trae Young, the kind of freedom he's playing with shooting-wise. You think about, all the other guards that you see in the league, dynamic combo guards. He fits right into that style of play because of his ability to pass, shoot, and play with the basketball. He's dynamic. He's scary.
Ja turned into a superstar right on time. As the NBA draft was coming up, Zion Williamson was gonna be the #1 pick. But with the #2 overall pick, there was no debate on who the best player available was.
The Memphis Grizzlies select Ja Morant from Murray State University.
Yeah, I think he's a wonderful prospect. Like you said, kind of came out of nowhere.
Good box out of Metu. Morant goes right at Monk, in traffic, scoops and scores off glass.
He was creative with how, watch the spin. Spin so quick.
To give. Morant, a 360 spin and a finish.
slipped away. Contact, able to get that one to go.
Simmons shot it well from three. Morant to the baseline, a flip that falls for Ja Morant. What an incredible block!
This Grizzlies, Ja Morant.
That's incredible.
This is dirt in the second year right here.
Ja Morant in Memphis signed a 5 years, $233 million.
And I'll be wearing a new uniform tonight.
Ja was starting to find success off the court, getting a huge deal with Powerade and an exclusive shoe with Nike. His life was changing fast as he was suddenly surrounded by money.
Like 12, man. The bust down by Nike and Icebox, man. Shout out. We got the kicks in the background right there, man. It's all here.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head. Yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right. So I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him.
We start noticing Ja's personality change. A lot of money can do that to people, and Ja had trouble balancing his new life. On one side, he was a multi-millionaire who could afford anything. On the other side, he had a daughter. He had his parents. He had a family to take care of. Was Ja going to handle it well? No, because this is where things start to fall apart for him. And it begins with the Pacers game, where we see the first sign of Ja's dark side. The Grizzlies are second place in the Western Conference. They need a win today to get closer to first place. This is where the Grizzlies need Ja the most.
Offensive tone setter with Bane being out. And Morant against Duarte banks it in and draws the foul.
Ja was putting on an elite performance, but the Pacers kept fighting back.
Over the top, Jared with the poster on Buddy Hield. Rebound right to Nembhard. He leans in, scores, and is fouled.
As the game went on, things started to get more physical until finally a fight broke out. But pay attention to this man. This is Devontae Pack, Ja's childhood friend. He starts acting crazy, yelling at the Pacers players. He gets ejected from his courtside seat, but the trouble has only started.
Ja goes and gets in one of the two parked cars, and then it is that car in question in which 3 or 4 guys get out and they start yelling stuff at the Pacers. Come get some of this. You don't know how we roll. I'll show you what I got. These are what's being yelled.
Yeah.
Okay? At the Pacers around their bus on the loading dock.
Right.
And reportedly, Ja is riding in the second car. A dot of a red laser appears on several of the people up on the loading dock just to scare them. But again, the security guard said, I believe that's attached to a weapon.
Yes.
You're kidding. The risk of this is staggering to me. You can't, your whole life in a moment can go up in literal smoke.
Absolutely.
Right?
Bro, you not hard. That's not your life. People that in that life would give anything to be in your life.
Great point.
For some reason, you're worth 30, you got a $200 million contract, and you want people in the NBA to think you hood, to think you gangster, because you roll with these type of people. Bro, you putting yourself in harm's way when you don't have to. Nobody looks at you, John, and think, man, that's a thug. He hood. He down. He bought that. You not.
And after the Pacers game that involved acquaintances of Ja, have you had the chance to see it yet? And have you guys had any team discussions about any of that?
Yeah, I mean, that was addressed internally, aware of the investigation of the NBA, did a full-on investigation. We were fully compliant with it, and I think they came out with a statement saying nothing was corroborated or found. So, that's what I know, and that's all I'm going to comment about.
Ja is saying that the NBA investigation didn't prove anything. The problem is, Ja didn't learn his lesson. This is a situation where someone could have lost their life, and he's still not taking it seriously.
All that stuff, pretty much false. It's been proven.
That's all I got to say on it.
The big story at 10 tonight, the saga of Ja Morant, the Grizzlies superstar facing a suspension and investigation from the NBA tonight after an incident on social media.
As a result of Morant's post, the Grizzlies have announced that he will be away from the team for at least 2 games.
Following the controversial Instagram post, moments ago, Morant issued a statement through his agent saying, quote, "I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, the city of Memphis, and the entire Grizzlies organization for letting you down. I'm going to take some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with stress and my overall well-being."
Like he's a basketball star by day and some hood gangster guy by night. That's ridiculous. This idea that somehow we have to be one-dimensional, I think is a little bit unfair.
The last couple of years, it's been multiple things that he found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. There was an alleged incident with his sister as it related to volleyball, a situation as it related to his mom at the mall, the situation with the Indiana Pacers staff post-game.
Ja was traveling down a road he didn't need to be on. First of all, when you're young, you feel you're invincible. Now just imagine you're young and you have a $200 million contract from the Grizzlies, you have a signature shoe from Nike, and you're one of the major faces of Powerade. Now you really think you are invincible. Why would you want to be perpetuate that you're a gangster, that you're a thug? I do believe some of Ja peers, some of Ja homies have tried to reach out to Ja. But when you're young and you got a lot of money, you're not willing to listen to anybody.
Thank you for the hands that prepare the food. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. So basically what he was saying is, when he said, thank you for the hands that prepared the food, he was talking about these two right here. You got an opportunity to be special. You have an opportunity to be one of the faces, if not the face of the NBA.
The first point I would like to make about the IG Live that I about fell off my couch when I first saw, what exactly was Ja Morant celebrating at 5:20 in the morning? And I've had people tell me, oh, it's just the kids today. They don't really care that much about winning. He could lose game 7 of the finals and he'd be at the club. Okay, yes. So we got one thing after another leading to this.
You start flashing your money, somebody gonna come see you. You start flashing the gun on IG Live, somebody gonna check you and see if you really about that gunplay.
Yeah.
He has a Second Amendment right. But the NBA says, yeah, we're not going to infringe on that right.
No.
But you're not going to bring that.
It was a bad choice. There's no excuse for what he did. But remember, he pressed a button on his phone. He went live. We don't go live, nobody knows he has a weapon, we're not talking about this. But he did that. So we have to stop putting ourselves in positions to where they can take away the things that we work hard to get for. I've also seen the video where your mom and dad, they got the nice mansion right next door to you. That's what we're trying to get to. And once we get there, we know the letter of the law. Like, I feel for him now, but I also feel for his mother and father. Like, what are they going through? So guys, before you make a dumb decision, not a mistake, a dumb decision, a dumb choice, think of the higher power. Your mother, your father, your children. You're not a rapper. You're an NBA player.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yes, sir.
You're a superstar. You're one of the faces of the NBA. And how are you doing?
Me personally, I feel mentally good that I haven't, been in, many years since I, really got drafted to the league. I'm in a space where I'm, very comfortable. Now that I made a, terrible mistake, being inside a club and, went live, I put myself in, a bad position. And also it's, my daughter. There's times where she even tell me if she's, had a bad day.
What were you thinking and feeling at that moment when you decided to go live?
I'm pretty much just trying to be free. Use that as an escape, which I shouldn't have. And I feel like that's the reason, I made many, bad decisions, in my past.
And so there was the incident allegedly after the Pacers game. Somebody was allegedly pointing a red dot at some of their personnel. Can you shed light on what happened after that game?
I can't speak too much, on those situations because all of them are sealed, and I really can't wait to be able to, finally tell the truth.
Now these circumstances that allegedly took place with the 17-year-old.
Not much I can say, because it's sealed, but pretty much everything, you see on the social media, that's going on with that is a lie. And honestly, I feel like we put ourselves in, that situation with, our past mistakes. It's only right that, we focus in and lock in on, being smarter and more responsible, holding each other accountable, for everything. I feel like in the past, we didn't know what was at stake.
This man is spectacular. He's a future face of the NBA. He's a star right now. He's a box office individual right now. He knows it. Everybody else knows it. And the world told him that.
It's time for Ja Morant to be better, right? I'm not talking about basketball. He's great. We already know that. He's first team All-NBA. What about his life?
Ja said all the right things. He made a mistake and he apologized for it. But can we believe his words? I don't think so, because the drama is just getting started.
Well, imagine being in high school and taking on a lawsuit against one of the NBA's biggest players.
Holloway, a point guard from the Memphis area who played at powerhouse Oak Hill Academy in Virginia this season, filed a lawsuit against Morant in January, accusing the two-time NBA All-Star of punching him in the face and flashing a firearm during a pickup game at Morant's house last July.
At first, it was just one mistake Ja made, but things are starting to add up, and it only gets worse from here.
Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant filed a countersuit Wednesday against Holloway, accusing the teen of slander, battery, and assault after a fight over a pickup basketball game at Morant's home last July.
Getting hit in the face with a basketball hurts, Morant's suit said. For a professional point guard like Mr. Morant, an injury to the eyes or nose could be career-ending. Mr. Morant was a strong prospect for one of 6 All-NBA guard spots. That selection would be significant because it would trigger a supermax clause in his contract extension worth millions of dollars. Today, Holloway announced his college choice, just 2 days after Morant filed a countersuit against him.
I will be signing my letter of intent to play at Stanford University. Go Bulldogs. I just want to thank God and everybody who support me. I really appreciate y'all. I'm still trying to reach my dreams. Still trying to reach my goal, so I just put in the work every day. That's what I do. I help. That's my therapy. I go to the gym, I work out, just get my mind off everything that's happening right now.
This is body cam footage from the police officer, where we see the kid talk about what Ja did to him. These accusations were so serious that Ja went to court to defend himself.
Where did he hit you? Left side of my face. Yeah, hurt? I mean, yeah. It good? Nah. So basically after the ball came hitting my face, I flinched back like this. So I'm like, what you want? Like that. And then he take a step forward? Yeah, he pulled up his pants, step forward. So then we end up getting like chest to chest. Like what? Like this. Okay. And then he shoulder bumped me and pulled his pants up again like this. And that's what I hit him. I just punched him. Reached my arm out and punched him.
Nobody knows the truth except Ja, but the fact that this stuff keeps happening doesn't make him look good at all. His image is falling apart. We've seen players lose hundreds of millions of dollars from brand deals because of controversy. Would Ja Morant make a change and save his image, or will he let his dark side be revealed?
Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant has been suspended for a second time after once again to flash a gun on social media.
Guns are a sensitive subject in my house, and I knew about the news, and I was going to turn it off really quickly, but then I was like, oh, I'll let it play, because I didn't want my kids to hear that a guy that they know was playing with guns. And so I was like, oh, let me leave it on. So then all of a sudden, my 6-year-old is like, Dad, that Ja Morant, the one with the braids? I'm like, yeah. She's like, he's really good, isn't he? And I was like, yeah, he's in trouble because he was playing with the gun. And they were like, well, why would he do that? And I was like, son, I don't know. I'm like, would you guys like to see the video? So they run over, I show them the video. They're like, Daddy, why was he doing that? That's a bad decision. I almost laughed because I saw his reaction immediately. And I was like, and buddy, this is the second time that he did it. They're like, he did it before? And I'm like, yeah. So I showed them the picture and they're like, Daddy, why would he do this? And I'm sitting here like, son, you are 6, you are 8, and you can recognize that this is a terrible decision. So I don't know.
Everybody knows I got a chance to sit down with him after the first situation.
Yeah.
And what I gather is sometimes it takes young people longer to actually get the message, and usually that message comes into a stiff punishment. And what's gonna now happen is it not only affects you clearly as an individual, but this is gonna affect their entire offseason, affect their draft, affect their preseason, and affect the start of next season.
Adam Silver was shocked that Ja did this a second time. And this time, the suspension was more serious. Ja was suspended for the first 25 games of the 2023 season.
Incredibly disappointed, disgusted, wondering what the hell is wrong with him. And it really comes down to that. This is a man that is universally recognized in NBA circles as being a highly, highly intelligent individual. This is stupidity. And you know he's not stupid, so what would be the reason? Does he have other problems that we don't know about? It now warrants an investigation.
Ja's friends have only made things worse for him. And it makes you think, are they really good friends? Are they really looking out for Ja?
The first time he got suspended, that was on his own Instagram account. And this second time, he's with someone and they literally go Instagram live. So you're clearly not surrounding yourself with people who are looking out for your best interests. All of these things get taken into consideration. You're the one shooting hoops. You're the one making your money. You're the one that's the face of the franchise. You're the one that's one of the preeminent faces of the NBA. And you're the guy that has a young child and a young family to look out for. And you're throwing all of this in jeopardy for what?
We talked directly about the consequences first before we got to a subsequent potential to have done something wrong. We were very focused on the misconduct that was in front of us at the time. And frankly, most of our conversation was about how incredibly serious the first incident was of waving, a firearm on social media. Again, and the consequences there. An 8-game suspension was pretty serious and something that he, at least to me, seemed to take incredibly seriously in that time. And we spoke for a long time.
Commissioner Silver seemed genuinely hurt.
Agreed.
Because he had this young man in his office just 2 months ago.
Yep.
And he said he was trying to help him understand by the ramifications about what he's doing and the harm not only that he's causing himself, but he's causing the product, the NBA. Yep. He said, you're one of the faces of the league. Gun violence is a problem, especially in our community. Yep. And so he's like, imagine what could have happened. And you take everybody else out, that didn't happen. But Commissioner Silver is trying to give him the worst case scenario. You could have hurt someone. You could have maimed someone. You could have hurt yourself.
Ja makes a bad decision, saying the gun was a toy. Instead of taking accountability, he was trying to make an excuse.
I just don't understand, like why they're on Instagram Live so much. Like I just don't get it. Like, by the way, once you were in trouble the first time on Instagram Live, you guys probably should stay away from Instagram Live. Like, it hasn't proven to be beneficial. Everyone's saying it's irresponsible. Of course it's irresponsible. Like, you have a following. You're trying to build a business, like a substantial sneaker business. Kids drive sneaker sales. Kids' parents buy shoes. And those children's parents aren't impressed with what they're seeing.
Ja Morant returned to the court Tuesday night in New Orleans. His 25-game suspension over. And if you had submitted a script for his first game back, you would have been told to take that thing back to the editors, come up with something more believable.
Ja Morant's story. They have significant pieces that they are missing as Biyombo misses the lob. Morant gets it back, goes to the other side of the rim and scores his first bucket.
Can load their defense.
Pelicans finish the quarter 3 for 21 as Ja Morant with the left hand, a little scoop. There's a little behind him from Valanciunas. Morant lays it in.
Roddy, you can't overplay on that post because he's setting you up for that.
Ja Morant, spectacular spin and finish in his return. Here goes Morant, he spins. Morant scores! And the timer expires. Count the basket, and Ja Morant wins it for the Grizzlies. Show-stopping performance by Ja Morant.
You were a little winded down the stretch. That's to be expected. How did you cope with that?
I'm a dog. I'm a dog. I put work in day out. And when I've been putting work in, man. I ain't played a game in 8 months. Had a lot of time, learn myself. A lot of hard days, where I went through it. But, basketball is, my life, what I love, therapeutic for me. And I'm just, excited to be back.
He's very good. That's why he's got a signature shoe. That's why he gets paid what he gets paid. And he's one of the best players in the NBA, and he's fresh.
So obviously, he was beyond excited to get out there and be with his teammates and play basketball, the game that he loves. I didn't want to over-call things. I just wanted them to play free and to start kind of getting a feel for each other.
That's how you come back. A hell of a comeback story, probably one of the best comeback stories I've seen.
There were a group of people screaming when Ja Morant would get hurt last year. Oh, the Memphis Grizzlies are a better team without Ja Morant.
A couple of years ago, they had a
good
record when
look how they still play well. Is he really? No. The difference is his ability to bring the attention to him, which allows you to play freer. When you play the Memphis Grizzlies, there's no, we could just guard them and they can't win, they're not talented enough. Now, they're back to having that edge.
But every time Ja has been given a second chance, he has ruined it. And this is the last chance he has with the NBA. We've seen his dark side. Will he come to the light, or will he go back to his old ways? It's up to Ja to write his final chapter.